second coming to the stage, Aaron Earn Moore. I think he has some fans. Is a designer and artist who has been living and working in Charlotte for the past 17 years. Y'all give it up for that. Earn is the southern pronunciation of Aaron. Y'all give it up for Aaron Earn Moore.
My art has most recently kept me out of jail. More on that in a moment. In times of great despair and great joy, my art has been an outlet for the unbelievable and the unbearable. My art is and has been essential to my survival. All of my artwork is made entirely from paper. No paint, no pencils, only paper. Most often I use National Geographics. I use paper the way a tailor would use cloth, keeping the native images but making an entirely new form from it. Tonight I choose to focus on the figurative aspect of my work. Here the figure reclines on a couch made of sheep. Her skin is an aerial view of a herd of camels in the desert. Her dress, whitewashed huts. The wall behind her, some of the world's oldest cave paintings. Again, this is all paper, meticulously cut with scissors and an X-Acto knife. The female form is one of my favorite subject matters. This piece follows the same techniques we saw in the previous, making a form but keeping the native imagery intact. The competition between the imagery and the texture and the form is what makes this piece interesting to me. In this detailed shot, if you look in the upper right corner, you can find two monks sitting in a doorway of a temple. You can see her skin is made from the desert and her hair a view of the cosmos. This piece was displayed at the Mint Uptown as part of the Creative Loafing's Romare Bearden contest. This contest stipulated that each piece be made entirely of Creative Loafings. If you look closely, this was during the political campaigning, and you can see Pat McCrory's name and whatnot. This slide marks a departure from the others. It is a female form, but she's in a heavy winter coat. Also, some of the images have been sanded, a technique I will often use when I want the piece to have a more unified feel. You'll notice her clothes and the railing retain the native images of the paper, but the remaining background has been sanded to provide a more uniform color and texture. I believe her pants are made of the River Thames, and her coat part of Arctic expedition. This is a portrait of my father. Making it helped me cope with the grief of his death. It represents months of consistent work and a convergence of thought to execution on a scale that I have rarely experienced. There was also a great deal of luck finding the perfect elements scattered through so many magazines. His hair is made from furrowed farmland, and his beard is a field of felled timber. On his shoulder, a caribou carcass is clearly visible, an appropriate reminder that we are all dust. This is a bittersweet piece. It commemorates the extreme joy of the birth of our first child, but the process of making it helped me deal with the death of my mother, which occurred around the same time. It is a tribute to the beauty of my wife as she was glowing with new life. It is, moreover, a celebration of one of my life's blessings, my daughter, Pearl. This piece celebrates the birth of my son, James. Again, it depicts the radiance of my wife, Nesia, and marks the joy of our second child. This piece marks a change in direction in my work. Made from layers of individually cut circles, this piece has added dimension to what was normally very flat. Almost a sculptural element. This is a picture of my wife's lover. And this picture specifically kept me out of jail. Until that time, he was one of my very good friends. I was in his wedding. He frequently dined at my house, borrowed my car, and watched my children. Rather than give in to the impulse to go split his skull, I channeled my rage into this depiction of him. In fact, it took 2 versions of this portrait to work through my rage and betrayal. The first one was burned entirely. All 3 of these images in this triptych are made of pornography. This is a portrait of my wife. This was difficult to do. Here was the person I spent 20 years of my life with, had 2 children with, trusted most in the world, who betrayed and left me. My world was crushed. Also made of pornography. Nothing was appealing. I wanted to lie in the road and die. The work became the outlet for my grief and disappointment. Making the portrait kept me going, each cut of the paper helping to ease the sting. I wanted all 3 of these images to be infused with the cheapness of pornography. I usually clean the extra adhesive from the images before display, but these I didn't. In fact, I routinely walked on the faces and then sealed in the dirt to reflect the griminess of the situation. I hesitated to show these in this forum. I do not want to be perceived as airing dirty laundry or poor me. These are deeply personal works, but they are how I have coped. I believe the art has the power to express the emotions that are the core of being human. It has the power to make us better people. Thank you.